the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that?
Let's talk dating, guys. If you are single at the moment, there's one phrase you need to stop saying, according to a dating expert, and that's the answer to the question, do you have a partner? Why not? And they're saying don't use the phrase, I just haven't met the right person yet.
Why?
They're saying because this avoids you recognising some of the patterns that you may have formed that you don't even realise you've created, and that's why you are single. Because you're not waiting, you're repeating, they go on to say.
So you said that there were 5 words. What are they?
I haven't met the right person yet.
That's it. Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought the 5
That's
words.
7 words.
I thought the 5 words that you don't want to hear are, will you fit inside this?
No, because that's going to take
it's a
some
box.
exploring.
Guys, mind out of the gutter. I'm talking
No, I know
about
what you
a
mean.
box.
You know?
Like a psycho.
Why?
When people ask me, are you seeing anybody? I go, oh, God, I could think of nothing worse, which I think is probably not the right
No,
answer.
that's not the right answer. And that's maybe why you're not giving off the right vibes, Swanee.
Yeah,
because you're not
maybe.
reading signals.
Yeah.
Like, you're not seeing moments. Like, if you find yourself, Swanee shared on the show not long ago, you found yourself in a stairwell with a guy who you thought was going to do a balloon trick.
Yes, I said, are you going to do a magic trick? Yeah.
He's going to make his tongue disappear into your mouth, Swanee. That's
yuck.
That's
Oh.
what he was thinking.
Was he?
So not only did you misread the eye contact you would have been receiving for most of the night, when he then said we should chat over here, you misread that as well.
Yeah.
And then it got to the final crunch, and you assumed that he was going to turn into a magician and pull out a poodle.
Watch me, go Houdini.
And then I assume you just wander off and continue on with the
So,
night.
how
Yeah.
long did you go out with Cosentino for?
Do you know what?
So weird. He would only perform if there was like a big orchestra dancing.
It's really weird.
Music going on in the background.
Do you remember the book The Game that came out?
Yes.
I remember the movie with Michael Douglas.
Oh, was it a movie too? Neil
No,
Strauss?
they were different. That
Two different
Michael
things,
Douglas
was it?
film, by the way, is
It's
fantastic.
unbelievable movie.
Unbelievable.
The
I
game
think
would-
about it all the time.
The game would talk about pickup techniques
Yeah.
and different things you could do to get people's attention and why it works. And this guy spoke about classes that he would hold, mainly with guys, to try and get the attention of girls. He would say things like, there was a chapter on negging someone. Do you remember that, Swanee? Where you would
yeah,
say,
I do. I don't know why any man would take advice from another man.
No, like that.
It's so crackers.
But the other thing was, one of his techniques was magic. So he said, if you go to a bar and sit at the bar with a deck of cards and just start thumbing your way through them a bit, it won't be long till you get a girl sitting next to you.
Are you joking?
No.
No, can I'll back that up because I don't believe, I don't get into magicians at all. But I had a mate, Johnny Kingstrom, that could make a cigarette disappear in front of your eyes.
Oh, you're
Chrissy.
good at doing that one, Fitz, too.
And he taught me how to do it. A Swedish guy taught him how to do it.
Mm.
So he would just hold up a cigarette, just simple, and he would go 1, 2, 3, and it was gone, Swanee, and then it would come back. And I saw him caught a lady by doing that, and she was so impressed that he ended up pashing her that night. It was an unbelievable thing that I saw.
Do you know what?
Wow.
Our friend Magic Mike, not a stripper, Magic Mike, his girlfriend, they met when he was sitting at the bar with a pack of cards.
Seriously?
Did he read that in the game?
No, I don't know if he did. But he was
Then maybe
naturally...
I need to take back my thing about who would take advice from a man. I would never have thought that a card game would get you some action. But there you go.
I mean,
Shows what I
if he
know.
buys you a drink and makes the ace of spades appear from behind your ear, you'd be going, wow, what else can this guy do?
Do you know who
Yeah, I know.
I saw a kid in a school uniform on the 442 the other day to Balmain, and he was doing these unbelievable. So he was training his hands with a deck of cards whip.
Yeah.
And I asked him what he was doing because I'm thinking, does this kid want to be a croupier at the Star or something? Like,
Yeah.
what is he doing? He said, no, I'm learning to be a magician, and I'm trying to, like the way that he was just flicking
Really?
these cards around, and he said, I do this every day on the way to school and on the way home from school on the bus, and he was just training himself.
Sorry, just to jump in, Fitz.
He had 8 ladies around him. Just
And then you tried to kiss him. Some magicians don't like to be called magicians. They're illusionists. You have to be very clear. Like, you can offend an
come on,
illusionist by calling them a magician.
Oh, my God. You've been
Tell you
drinking
what, I'm
too
no
many
magician,
illusions.
but I can make any man disappear.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk about red flags, because there's been a debate online about this one. And to the person who wrote this article on the Daily Mail, I just thought I'd ask you to think about your wording. I'll just read this bit. The post sparked mixed reactions, with some reckoning photos should be deleted. Reckoning. Wow. Good luck.
Yeah, that's right.
Reckoning.
That's the correct.
Terrible English.
Is it?
Yes. Terrible Chrissy Swan.
Oh, reckoning, yeah. Okay, I thought. Well, reckoning is it's a day of reckoning,
Day
isn't it?
of
I thought
reckoning,
it was
that's-
if it was in a if a relationship
movie
fail,
title.
you would think that it could be the ex's day of reckoning.
Well, this is talking about all those great fun photos we have in our photo reel, but maybe also on social media of past lovers, and the debate of whether you should delete all those photos when you have a new partner. Discuss. It's an interesting one, because I mean, this expert's come out and said, what about the 90-10 rule, where you delete about 90% and keep 10, just because it seems strange to remove an entire past?
What about you delete none
I
and
agree.
you grow up
I
and
couldn't agree
realise
more.
that your current boyfriend or girlfriend isn't the first person you've ever known?
Yeah, amazing
I have
stories.
zero tolerance
Yep.
for that.
Agreed.
And that is a red flag. If anyone ever said to me, you can't speak to your... I've got my very first, love, my first boyfriend
Darren.
that I was with for 8 years, Lee.
What mental
He lives
institution is he in now? Where is he
Say that
now,
again?
Chrissy? What mental institution is he in now?
Excuse me, it is a prison. It is
And he'll be
not.
out. He'll be out.
And then he's slowly digging when the guards aren't looking, all right?
And is he? So you're still in contact with him? Is he a friend of yours?
I talk to him all the time. He's one of my favourite human beings because we
Shared.
spent 8 years together from the age of 20 to 28. Massive time in our lives.
Can I ask this question?
And if somebody ever said to me, you can't be friends with him, it just wouldn't be a choice.
No.
I would just be like, well, you're...
And it doesn't make sense.
Goodbye.
Swanee, do you talk about old times? Do you talk about
yeah, I would
things
say
that happened
so.
back then? And do you have private jokes? Do they still exist?
I mean, probably, yeah. He's
Yeah.
like my brother.
Okay.
Did
He's
you?
like my brother. I mean, we were
can
kids.
Can I ask a very personal question?
Please,
was
mate.
he your first, Swanee?
Interesting.
Yes.
Because I think that adds that there's even more connection there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Because
But
that's a shared experience
I
again.
just don't. And I'm not a jealous person, and I can't know people that are.
Okay. What should you do? Do you have to delete those photos, or can you let them sit there and tell the other person just to get over it? Claire and Ryde, what are you thinking?
Hi. Well, I would say one of the biggest red flags that I've encountered would be just slow texting and just the really long replies, the really just how almost they're ghosting you, yet you're
Yeah.
holding on to dear life for the relationship. You're sitting there going,
What if
do
one
you like
person?
me? Do you not?
Right, if
And
one
then they-
person's giving too much more than the other person, you mean?
Yeah, but then they can turn around to you and be like, no, it's all good. No, I'm just out with the boys.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, when you look back over a chain of text and you see only one colour, always interesting.
Yeah.
That's slightly concerning.
Yeah.
Thank you, Claire. Would you be okay with, if you met somebody and they had photos of their ex?
On their phone or Instagram?
No, maybe on Insta, so it's public.
I would, you know what? I'm if they were just following them, that's fine. I don't mind. If it was an okay thing, they didn't break up bad, that's
Sure.
fine.
Thank you, Claire.
Yeah.
Swanee, a friend of mine, I mean, he's an older guy. He has got a photo on his mantelpiece. His right arm is over his previous wife, and his left arm is over his current wife, and they're all wearing like cable knit jumpers, white cable knit jumpers.
I
And
wouldn't
are they
have
all
picked
friends?
that.
Are they
And
all
is-
friends?
I believe so.
Is there also a painting of the grandfather up on the wall that made the family the
It's
money?
hard to say, mate. Rebecca in Springwood, hello.
Did the eyes of that portrait follow you around the
Everywhere.
room?
They actually come out of the picture and will follow you down the street.
Sorry, Beck.
Beck, do you think they should be able to hold on to the photos? Do you think that's fine?
Yeah, I think it's totally fine. You should be able to hold on to them. Probably just don't want to be looking at them all the time, but you don't want to delete your past and your history.
Do you know what? Can I ask this, Beck? Have you ever been in a situation where you're telling a story about something and your partner is there, but then you realise that it wasn't them you did it with? I've done that before.
I don't know about that one. I've been with my partner too long now, but yeah, no, not with that one.
I was sitting there at a family dinner telling a story about when Lisa and I did this, and Mum's looking at me in a weird way. And I'm thinking, what are you looking at? And she's doing the old cut across the throat.
Yeah.
And she's mouthing to me, it wasn't Lisa.
Oh no! It was Lisa's roast lamb. It was off.
No, it wasn't the food. It had nothing to do with the cooking. It was just I had the wrong person. It was a really great moment for everyone.
Fitz in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.